All right, let's get into this. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of the Frisco Report. We've been off for a couple of weeks here. You know, obviously I had my issue there that I had with my son, and news was a little slow. But now, Mike, we're deep into OTAs and minicamp. Time to do a show and catch up, and let's talk about the latest news here, Mike. But what's going on, brother? How you been?
Bro, it's been good. I'm refreshed. I'm rejuvenated. We did a little collab there, a little crowning Cowboys Super Bowl and NFC champs early video. If you haven't seen that, definitely go check that video out. I'll find it and drop the link in the comment section. Heck of a video, but we've been away, guys. You know why we've been away, Joe? You know why we've been away?
We've been away because it's that time of year, man. You know, we'll be able to get through June and July is usually what we call the dead zone. So, guys, moving forward through June and through July, we'll probably do the show every other week instead of weekly. And you know, we'll do camp preview videos, position battles, this types of things. But you know, we definitely won't have any fluff videos. We won't, you know, blow unicorns up anybody's butts or anything like that. We keep it real here. Mike, what is your opening statement as we get into the minicamp discussion here?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going to break down 30-second clips, guys, and try to break this down as if somebody is doing something special, because all we have is 30-second clips, and it's just like a little somebody running. Tank Lawrence not in their head. Dak Prescott throwing the ball. You don't even know who he's throwing the ball to, because all it shows him is throwing a football, right? So it's hard to go off of video clips, right? But what we can go off of, Joe, is people that are there sharing their experience of what they're seeing, right? We got tweets. We got Brian brought us the G-Bag Nation over there, and we can go off those clips. That's my opening statement, Joe. This is exciting. This is opinionated season. This is the I think season, as Cowboy Fan 1980 would say it. The I think season. This is speculation season, Joe. And this is all the marbles up until that first preseason game at the Hall of Fame game against the nasty, dirty Steelers.
Yeah, a lot to cover for sure. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Appreciate you guys for coming through, catching up here with you guys on the latest and greatest for the Cowboys. Mike, we're going to open it up with the latest news of the day. I'm going to go ahead and share this out here with everybody here so we can take a look at this together. Let's see what we got here. All right. This is the latest news here. Ian Rappaport is reporting that Amari Cooper may not be ready for training camp as he rests with hopes that an irritation in his ankle will calm down. All right. So Ian Rappaport reporting that Amari Cooper, Mike, might miss training camp, might not be ready. So what is your thoughts here on this opening news nugget of the day here?
Not really surprised, Joe. Let's be honest. It's Amari Cooper, and it's a foot issue. This has been plaguing Amari Cooper since his collegiate days, since his Raider days, now his Cowboy days, Joe. I really believe he's going to be at training camp. He's going to be practicing. He's going to have those shells on. This is just one of those things where the media tries to blow something up. It's just that ankle injury. I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but I can say the word in my head, but I can't say it out loud. If that makes any sense to anybody. But it's just Amari Cooper being Amari Cooper.
Yeah, no, you hit it right on the head there, Mike. This is Amari Cooper. This is kind of like his deal, right? Not that he does it on purpose, but he does have lower extremity type issues, mainly the ankle, the foot. So I'm not worried about it. Will he miss camp? I mean, if he does, I don't think he'll miss the entire camp. he'll get a look, but they will be. The Cowboys will be very deliberate with bringing him along. You definitely don't want to re-irritate it in camp and then have him miss the opening of the season. So a little bit of news there. Not worried about it quite yet, but it is on the radar. A lot of the stuff that we'll be talking about today is yet. So let's get into the rest of the news of the day here, Mike. We've got more here coming. As far as like anything that you've heard that has really stood out, over these last OTAs and now the mandatory minicamp, is there anything that you really like what you're hearing? Anything that you don't like what you're hearing? Anything like that, Mike?
Yeah, for sure. The thing, Brian Broaddus got it, and trust me, guys, he's a former scout. He has plugs to this league. Probably more than Ian Rappaport does, all right? Brian Broaddus, a former Super Bowl winning scout, was talking about Donovan Wilson not really being consistently in the building, Joe. A potential starting free safety. And then we got Jerron Kearse back there taking those reps. That scares me. I don't know anything about Kearse. I pull up Kearse. There's nothing that wows me. I know what I have in Donovan Wilson, and I need Donovan Wilson to step up. And Brian Broaddus put it, he's trying to fit his gold jacket already. I need him locked in, okay? This kind of reminds me that the path Xavier Woods took in a contract year, right? I need Donovan Wilson locked in. I need him playing for something and not being overzealous, not being overconfident. Stay locked in, Donovan Wilson. Do not do anything dumb. I trust you. I don't want Kearse there.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one that that I've talked about as well. It's definitely not something to to shrug off, but it's not. It's also something that shouldn't alarm anybody yet. Okay, yeah. This is another one of these yet topics, right? So we know what Donovan Wilson does on the field. He's a playmaker, so it's hard to keep him off the field now. What you don't like to hear is the participation, you know what I'm saying, like that early on. But as far as like where he's at now, early on, maybe not so much. But, I think once they got into OTAs, mandatory, he's there and this sorts of things. So it's not like he's completely checked out, you know what I mean? So it is something to monitor, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, that was one of the things I don't like. One of the things I do like, Mike McCarthy said it on yesterday's press conference, is Ezekiel Elliott looking leaner, looking more elusive, being in first in the meeting, asking tons of questions about the offense, being in the quarterback room in their meetings. I really think Zeke, the problem with Zeke, you look at last year, week 1 against the Rams, he looked very good. Then he fell off the thing, had 9 fumbles in 6 games, then had 1, or 8 fumbles in 6 games, or whatever it was, then had 1. A lot of fumbles, then cleaned it up, right? I need Zeke to stay consistent. I like the path that he's on. The workout videos, that don't matter to me, okay? That's just food. I'm just eating it up, right? It's just gone, okay? But I do like that he's being that veteran back. He's teaching the younger guys. He's being a student of the game, learning things with the coaches, things of that sort. I do like how Ezekiel Elliott is approaching this offseason.
Indeed. It's always good to see that. Now it's just about wrapping everything together and bringing into a successful 2021 campaign. Guys, let us know, what have you liked coming out of OTAs and mandatory minicamp? What have you not liked? Let us know in the comments. Let's continue on with some more news of the day. This one is Kelvin Joseph news, Mike, and this comes from Clarence Hill. Kelvin Joseph didn't have a great day. One highlights of practice was CeeDee Lamb catching a touchdown from Dak Prescott after dropping Joseph on a cut. Okay, so this is a glorified practice, I guess you could say. So, but it is good. For me, I'm glad to see Joseph out there. You know what I mean? Because this is another player that Broaddus kind of touched on. For rookie minicamp, saying that Joseph looked kind of out of shape and this sorts of things. and then obviously he was out with, I think everybody is assuming he had COVID, right? So he finished the quarantine or whatever the hell or whatever it was, but he's back on the field, Mike.
Yeah, for sure. And guys, let me tell y'all something here. They have they don't even have shoulder pads on. They just have a helmet, shirt, and shorts. Okay, you can't tell me somebody looks like crap or somebody's lighting it up because you can't even tackle. You can fall and get tangled up, but that's the only contact you're gonna get, right? So let's go back to Dak Prescott's rookie here, okay? And yes, it's apples and oranges. Dak Prescott, Kelvin Joseph, I get it, but let's just talk about this for a second. Dak Prescott was a fourth-string quarterback, third-string quarterback, whatever, for a reason. He didn't look very good in just shorts and shirts. He put on pads, the lights weren't too big, and he made a name. Kelvin Joseph, just because he's in shirts and the shorts don't mean he's trash or he's slopping or he's going to be a bust. Guys, he's only had like literally 25 days in front of coaches at an NFL level, okay? Let's calm it down. Let's take a deep breath. Let's see what he does in actual training camp with pads on, with actual physicality, okay? And let's see how he works from there. You turn on the tape, and what's the first thing that sticks out with Kelvin Joseph? Physicality. You can't be physical in shorts and shirts and just a helmet. You can't do it.
Absolutely, Mike. You hit it right on the head, and I think that's all part of the OTAs and minicamps, right? It's real knee-jerk reactions to literally every single thing that's out there. You know what I mean? When we talk about, oh, so and so's not here, so and so, yeah, I totally agree. So it's going to be interesting to see how he looks. A lot of the projections. I know you and I have talked about this as well, but and a lot of the pundits are saying the same thing. You're looking at Diggs as being your starter, Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis. So that's three there. Have these guys done enough to beat any of them right now? You know what I mean? If you were to start a game right now, you're not starting Joseph. You're not starting Nashawn Wright. You know what I mean? So the training camp and the preseason especially is going to be huge for these young dogs. So I'm ready for it. And I think that's when the true colors are really going to pop on some of these guys, Mike.
Yeah, for sure. I look at it like shooting practice with these rookies, man. And the Dak Prescott's the prime example of the shooting practice. You're in front of coaches. You're soaking in knowledge. In front of the instructor, you're soaking in knowledge. Then you get to go practice with some fake rounds, okay, a.k.a. OTAs minicamp. Then you get some live ammunition, and you have some silhouettes that are 3 feet in front of you. Then you start moving that silhouette back, i.e. training camp. Then you start practicing to be a better shooter in a long-distance range. That's what football is about. Learning, practicing. Okay, that's why this sport has a training camp. That's why this sport has OTAs and mini camps and all this learning. It's all mental. It's all learning. This mental reps. So let's give these rookies a break here.
Yeah, mental reps, and then they got to get it on the field there and do that sort of thing. But every rep does count. You know what I mean? It's to me. It doesn't matter if the reps are going against second and third team, they're still rep. You know what I mean? Now, if you're not making plays with second and third rep guys, then yeah, there's a problem. So, here's a comment here. Wright is playing against backup QBs. I'm not really high. Well, if he wasn't making plays at all, I would be concerned. You want to see the positive plays. You know what I mean? So I'm all about it. Now, I'm not overhyping anybody. I don't think Mike is either. And I are really big on being like not sugarcoating and blowing unicorns up people's butts. But you do like to see the positive reps. You do like to see them making plays with whoever it is out there. You know what I mean? It's good for the player. It's good for their confidence. So I do like to see that.
When Tyron Smith made the top 10 of the top 100 players, I can't remember who said it, but they said he has the technique down to be physical, to be great. Now he's just learning off that technique. Right now in shirts and shorts, it's getting down technique. getting down technique. So you want to see bad balls batted. You want to see some interceptions off tip drills, things of that sort, because that's the technique you got to practice, and that's what they're doing right now before training camp.
Exactly, Mike. It's exactly what they're doing. They're doing the installation right now this week, so you're going to see mistakes. You're going to see plays being made out there, blown coverages, all kinds of stuff. So, it's not a lot that you want to, go overboard with. Let's continue on here, Mike. This is pretty badass here. Our first round pick, Micah Parsons, has officially signed with the Cowboys. 4-year deal.
$17 million, all guaranteed, Joe.
$17 million, all guaranteed. That's our boy right there. That's him.
Bro,
the
video that Amari Cooper did with this dude with the chess game, bro, I was just flabbergasted. Micah Parsons. Oh, my God. If you haven't watched that video, definitely check it out. It's on Cooper's Instagram, but it was shared on Twitter. But oh my goodness, dude, it was hilarious. But big shout out to Micah here for getting that 17.
Yes, indeed. I just love that, man. I every time I hear him talk, in the press conferences, and you see him making the plays, right? And these are in shells and this sorts of thing. But like we said, positive reps. You keep stacking that. Take that momentum in a training camp. You're rocking and rolling. You know what I mean? And I want that for all of our players. Like all of our young guys. Reggie Robinson, he's been making some plays out there. And a lot of these cornerbacks, Nashawn Wright. So it's good stuff, bro. It's very, very good stuff indeed. Let's get into the next news topic of the day. Let's see what else we got here, guys. Okay, here we go. This one is going to be Tyler Biadasz news. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This comes from Brianna Dix, the beautiful, gorgeous Brianna Dix. Center Tyler Biadasz wrote in his exit interviews last season that the area he wanted to improve the most was being of the same mind with Dak Prescott. It has evolved, and Biadasz claims we're on the same page. Now he's striving to be the best version of himself in 2021, Mike. So you like to hear this? You talk about the center position being the spearhead of the general, I guess you could say, of the offensive line. And what do you think about this quote here out of Biadasz?
It's great. It's great because it takes you from a up and down year two with injuries. Joe Looney, a seasoned vet, going in there, and then it fast forward a year later, and he's thinking like a center. He wants to be a center. He's acting like a center. He's playing like a center. It's watching a baby go from not being able to hold their head to crawling to walking. All right. Tyler, the new TB, all right, is doing that, right? And it's great to see. It's great strides in his career. Now he has to put that and translate that to the field.
I love it. And I think he's going to translate it. I know the only thing that does concern me about the center position is his injury history. He kind of dinged up in college, and then last year, he tweaked the hamstring. But I see him working out with Duke Mayweather and these guys, at the O lineman academy. And so you'd like to see him trying to improve his game in the offseason, getting more strength and that sort of thing. I mean, he looks physically different this year already. I mean, he already looks like he's feeling into an NFL body, and you do like to see that as well. So I'm pumped for year two, Tyler Biadasz, Mike. Question is, who will back him up? How comfortable do you feel behind Biadasz?
That's a great question. Because we could throw Connor McGovern in there. We could throw Connor Williams in there, but there's not really a true. And then the 7th round pick that we dropped, Fiocchi, what was his name? The last offensive lineman we took. What's his name?
Oh yeah, Farniak.
Yeah, Farniak. I was thinking the wide receiver. My bad. Farniak. So, can he do it? We're still talking about a 7th round draft pick. Not underestimating a 7th round draft pick, but there's no real insurance there, right? Then you got to start shuffling things around, which I don't want that. Can they bring Joe Looney back late? They've done it in the past.
Yeah.
He's been signed in late June, early July before training camp. Is that something we're going to see again? It could be, Joe. It could be.
I honestly wouldn't mind that. You know what I mean? Of the names that you named off there, I would probably prefer, Looney because he just has more reps there in the NFL at the center position. Give you that flex, but then also you want to see what you can get out of McGovern. So yeah, hopefully we don't have to see anybody. Hopefully Biadasz stays healthy, and we don't have to worry about that scenario. So good indeed. Good to something to monitor as we head towards training camp. But you do like to see, the confidence level from these year 2 players. Let's see what else we got here, guys. We got a report here from David Moore. Let's get into this one here. This is pretty good. David Moore, a few impressions from Cowboys practice today. Michael Gallup beats Trevon Diggs deep. Okay, we've kind of talked about him in a couple of weeks. Dak Prescott throws a beautiful deep ball to Noah Brown behind Diggs. Prescott finds Gallup in a tight window in the back of the end zone for a TD. Scrambles to find CeeDee Lamb a few plays later. So today, it looked like it was the offensive day. I know yesterday the defense kind of had the offense's number. Today it seems a little bit like the tables were turned, and you're kind of seeing that with some of these reports that we'll continue to drill through here, Mike. But what's your thoughts on this here? Gallup beating Diggs, Dak Prescott throwing the deep ball. I love all of this.
Yeah, All Sports Culture put out a top 20 wide receiver duo in the NFL, and they have Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb at number 5. And I'm like, why are people forgetting Michael Gallup? People forgot Michael Gallup in the draft. Cowboys got him in the 3rd round. Easily should have been a 2nd round talent, maybe a late 1st talent, right?
Yeah.
Now, when the Cowboys drafted even before Cowboys drafted CeeDee Lamb, no one was talking about Michael Gallup, right? Now they draft CeeDee Lamb. Now all they're talking about is Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. They're forgetting number 13, Michael Gallup, who Coach McCarthy said last year is a number 1 wide receiver talent, and this guy's going to get a payday, and he won't be forgotten here very, very soon. I love this for Michael Gallup. Love it. Tremendous. The guy is talented. The guy is very talented. He's consistent, very consistent. He's probably, if Dak can hit him on the deep ball more consistently, this guy's going to flourish.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I think, like the same with CeeDee Lamb, if Prescott wouldn't have gotten injured, I think we would have seen the 3 1,000-yard receivers. They talked about that leading up to the season last year. They were pretty close. CeeDee Lamb almost had 1,000, and I think Gallup had like 800 and something, right? So got pretty close with a poor offensive line and suspect quarterback play. So, yeah, man, I do like to see that. I mean, you're right. Michael Gallup, I think a lot of people do sleep on him. They do forget about him. Some of the pundits, obviously, PFF and these guys, it's all about, Cooper and Lamb. You know what I mean? Which I understand that. But Gallup, he's a really good player, man. He's a solid player, and I think he's gonna earn himself a really good payday. I think some people might be surprised at what that number is gonna be at the end of the day. So I think what the Cowboys are going to have to come to their decision is going to be factored in as far as like, do you want to hang on to Cooper and let Gallup walk, or do you want to, franchise tag, Gallup and then let Coop walk next season? So there's a lot of financials involved, a lot of scenarios to be had. I think it's going to be another very interesting offseason for the Cowboys, but that is way, way ahead. But it is something to keep in mind. It's always fun times here in Cowboys land when it comes to contracts and free agency. So something to keep an eye on further down the road, obviously. Mike, we got some great notes here from Kyle Yeomans, a guest of the channel. I love Kyle. He brings great information. He picks up on a lot of things that some of the other um, writers don't write about, and I do appreciate Kyle's notes here from Minicamp. Aaron Parker and Tony Pollard each had good days. Diggs had a learning day. Wide receivers got the best of him, so that kind of goes in hand with the last report we just read, right? So that's fine. Javon Curse, right, with a nice pick six, keeping a good week going. So we talk about Jaron Curse really playing, getting a lot of those reps in place of Donovan Wilson. They're using him in the box. He's making plays and this sorts of things. So Curse is not somebody to sleep on. You know what I mean? Yeah, he does have a travel. He's traveled around here and there. But like I said, George Edwards rubber stamped that approval to bring him here. They didn't just pull him out the hat and say, hey, let's bring in this guy here. He's 6'4", whatever the hell. You know what I mean? George Edwards, coming from that Viking staff, had a big influence on bringing him here. And, I think they're using him the right way. He's got the size, the length, and that's been the whole conversation. Mike has been getting faster and getting length and size, right? So that's an interesting note there, Mike. And Mukwamu with a bat down off the edge on the blitz, and CeeDee Lamb showing out again, Mike. So what's your thoughts here on these notes here?
Yeah, great job by Kyle Yeomans right here, right off the bat. Aaron Parker, Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, man, let's talk. I really think, and how many times we got to hear it, we're going to use Tony Pollard more. Kellen Moore should be fired by week 5 if Tony Pollard don't have a 100-yard game, whether that's rushing or receiving, Joe. By week 5, we're giving him 5 weeks to include Tony Pollard. And if Tony Pollard don't have one game with 100 yards, rushing, receiving, or a mixture of both, Kellen Moore should be fired. The guy don't know what he's doing. You got to use Kellen Moore. I mean, you got to use Tony Pollard, Kellen Moore. You got to use him. Diggs learning day, that's great. Second year, moving in, Dan Quinn, hands-on type of coach. Probably the biggest transition that the Dallas Cowboys made this offseason for Dan Quinn. I want Diggs to fail right now. I want every player to fail right now. Why, Joe? So they can learn. Right now, this is walkthrough. This is technique. This is learning your technique. This is learning from your mistakes right here, right now, before your mistakes get you hurt in training camp. This is what I want. I want Diggs to have a bad day. Right now, I do. That way he learns. Curse, nice pick six. I want to know who threw the ball. I want to know who threw the ball. But he's learning that technique. The ball. That should be preached on defense. Shout out to Dan Quinn. His players are buying in, getting the ball. And then Makuu talking about I'm the best corner in the draft. They got him playing safety. Don't ask me how that happened, right? I'm the best corner in the draft, coach, telling Jerry Jones that he's playing safety. But bat off the edge on a blitz, that's great. Getting mixed around, finding position for players is great. You got to play to your players' strengths, and that's what they're trying to do right now.
Yeah. No, it is. It is good news. These are all good talking points. Indeed, we're talking about Aaron Parker. Aaron Parker, I loved him last year. I'm glad the Cowboys were able to stash him away. That's kind of Aaron Parker is my what do you call it? My pet cat, right? He was my pet cat. He was the East-West Shrine Game MVP back when we got him undrafted. Able to stash him around, so we'll see what happens there. Do the Cowboys carry 5 receivers? Do they go 6? So we'll see what they do there. They may need to go a little bit deeper there if we're still having some issues there with Coop's ankle. So we'll keep an eye on that there. But I think the competition there in the wide receiver room is going to be fierce. It's going to be fierce. I think they're going to churn that a little bit, whether it's Cedric or Noah Brown. I think there's going to be some churning there. And then you did draft Simi Fehoko, who brings you some speed for a very sizable player. So there's good potential there with him as well. But great news there. Indeed, I do like that indeed. Now, as far as Tony Pollard, it seems like every year we want him to get more snaps. We want more to get more creative. And it's just going to be very hard for him to get these snaps at the end of the day. I think it's he's going to get caught up in the wash. You know what I mean? They were kind of using him as a slot receiver when last week when some of the players were dinged up, they were using him in a slot position. You know, that could be a low-key thing to keep an eye on. You know, if you do have Gallup leave in free agency, you slide in CeeDee Lamb to be the other guy opposite of Coop. Maybe you saw enough out of Pollard in the slot. You feel good about just converting him. And we know Mike McCarthy has something with converting wide receiver to running back to wide receiver. He's done that before. So
Ty Montgomery.
Exactly.
Turns Eddie Lacy into a cheeseburger.
Yeah, a double cheeseburger at that, right?
Shout out to 1980. He's in the house.
Shout out to 1980, bro. He's in the house. He's in the house. What's up, everybody? Make sure you hit up my boy, Dallas Cowboys fan 1980. One of the coolest dudes you'll ever meet. So
Yes, sir.
Able to ever meet him in real life, it's a treat. Very humble guy. I love that guy.
His heart is the size of Texas.
It is. Let's see what we got here. Michael Gelkin comes in the clutch here with some really good news and nuggets. Let's get through these ones here.
I like Gelkin.
Yeah, let's get through this. This is a good one. Michael Gelkin. Cowboys have 14 wide receivers. That's a lot, right? On the 90-man roster. Only 8 practice today, again without Cooper, who missed a bulk, if not in the entirety of practices this spring. Also sidelined Cedric Wilson, TJ Vasher, Stephen Guidry, Malik Turner, and Simi Fehoko. So, yeah, they continue to be dinged up there at the wide receiver position. It wouldn't be fair to characterize Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, and Lyle Collins' side field work this spring as rehab. More of a functional strength and conditioning program. Today included stance off while tethered to sled. Each looks ready for training camp. Look at that. The behemoths. They are behemoths. And we need these guys. We need Tyron. We need Zach. We need Lyle. We cannot have – I do not want to see –
doo-doo pants.
Yeah, no, I do not want to see Terrence still out there ever again. So that's good to see. That's good to see. More from Michael Gelkin. A casual observer might assume Tony Pollard a slot receiver based on how he moves in and out of breaks. Best separation from anyone during 7-on-7 period came from Cowboys running back over the middle versus Deontay Burton. So, yeah, we just talked about that. That's awesome. So you might assume that. Maybe they're, like I said, they're getting looks at him there doing some of that slot action. So you like to see that. You like that he did that at Memphis. And I think Mike McCarthy definitely has a good eye for that. You know, and I've always called him a quarterback and a wide receiver whisperer because he always gets these guys going, man. He gets them going. So working in concert with Ben McAdoo, who, they recently added as a consultant, working with Kellen Moore and these guys, I think it's only going to help the team flourish on offense, Mike.
Yeah, I like that. I like Ben. I used to call him Ben McAdoo because he was a Giants head coach and we beat the snot out of him every year. But as a consultant, studying tape so we can get an extra hand, an extra leap on things, better preparation, better preparedness. I like it. So if we don't win a lot of the games, I'm blaming Ben Nakapupu because he's supposed to be putting a lot of his game plans together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one there. Here's some more here from Michael Gelkin. Cowboys Ezekiel Elliott displayed explosive lateral quickness on one run, sharp spin move on another. After each, Elliott nodded his head when running into the end zone. Elliott having a great spring, and he knows it. Very good news there.
Yeah, we talked about it, right? And I one of the things I liked was Ezekiel Elliott, but he looked like this week 1 against the Rams last year and then fell off the map. You know what I'm saying? He needs to get some preseason snaps. None of this Huckleberry, I'm going to hold you like a teddy bear at night kind of crap they've been giving him. He needs to get some reps, get his feet underneath them, get some contact, and go play, and be consistent.
Yeah, that's what it is there. I do expect a good season from Zeke this year. I'm excited about it actually. Okay, here
Oh,
we
I'm
go.
super
More
excited.
notes here from Michael Gelkin. A little different about OTA versus minicamp practice, but Cowboys introduced artificial crowd noise during 11 on 11. Led to some sloppiness, pre-snap flags on both sides of the ball. More of a walkthrough pace in certain periods, including a long non-helmet install for the defense. So that's interesting there.
And that's okay because this is look, they don't even have shoulder pads. It's shirts and shorts. It's okay.
There's your boy, Boss Man Fat, number 24. And then you got 41. That's Reggie Robinson, I believe. Burton, number 33. 35 is,
Oh, is that KZ or Curse?
yeah, I think that's Kazee, right? Yeah, that's Kazee. Let's see what else we got here. Micah Parsons continues to dabble as a rusher from the right edge, notably explosive off line of scrimmage. Right tackle Ty Nsekhe was briefly hobbled on one such play. Parsons should only play faster in the coming months as he gains comfort in the defense. What a beautiful thing. What a beautiful note. Mike, they talked about that, as far as using Parsons, you want him on the field in pass rushing situations and in nickel situations. They were talking about it's been mainly Parsons and Keanu Neal, kind of leaving LVE and Jalen Smith out in these types of situations. And then when you get into these pass rushing situations, when you have Parsons coming off the edge, maybe that's when you see LVE get back on the field there with Keanu Neal. But Jalen Smith almost feels like he is a little bit low key, a third or fourth wheel kind of, because your base defense is a lot of nickel, right? So that's interesting to hear, Mike. But what's your thoughts on the pass rushing Micah Parsons?
No, I like it. I like it. You got to use your players to the best of their ability. Running through offensive linemen, finding those gaps, the intelligence to know those gaps, the intelligence of studying film, knowing when a guard pulls, the timing I'm hitting that hole. That's the strength of Micah Parsons, okay? And Jalen Smith, if you get him running straight, he can do that. You have to get him to cut and move and swag around offensive linemen, he's going to fail, right? And you made a great point about Jalen Smith, Joe. And if they value the linebacker depth, Jalen Smith is going to stay. If they think someone on this team can do what Jalen Smith can do at a fourth-string level, Jalen Smith will be traded before training camp. Cowboys Corner told you first, right here on the Frisco Report. My prediction is Jalen Smith will be traded before training camp.
Well, there was that rumor, right, that supposedly, that they there was trade talks, but they couldn't find a suitor or this and that. So, whether or not that was true or not, sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. So we'll see what's up with that. Let's see if your prediction comes to pass. Let's continue on with the news here. Cowboys DeMarcus Lawrence in good spirits despite spending much of the spring not practicing, working with director rehabilitation Britt Brown as stationary target. Blake Jarwin, ACL, caught deep passes from quarterbacks at one point, both expected to be cleared for training camp. All right. Now, Mike, I'm not really worried about the DeMarcus Lawrence part of this deal here. I think he's going to get the vet treatment. You know what I mean? But I do like that last point there about Blake Jarwin catching deep passes from the quarterbacks, and here he is down here, a close up. So he's out there getting that work done. So talking about him being ready for training camp, I think he's going to hit that target. Mike, what's your thoughts on Jarwin here on this news?
Love this about Jarwin coming in. I really think Jarwin's going to be second string to Dalton Schultz this year. Dalton Schultz put on one of the better performances in the tight end group that we've seen, and I don't even know how long, Joe. We've never seen a tight end do what Dalton Schultz did last year at a consistent level with four different quarterbacks. But Jarwin getting healthy is great. But I got to disagree with you, Joe, on DeMarcus Lawrence. Yes, he's probably one of the best run defenders in the NFL today. But I need sacks, right? We're paying this dude a hefty amount of money, $20 million, not to just stop the running back, but to disrupt the quarterback, Joe. And it's been slacking since he got paid, all right? Let's give him the Des Bryant treatment instead of the thing, and let's get him the heck out of here if he can't produce. Des Bryant got paid, was never the same. Tank Lawrence is on that same path. You can stop the running back, great. That's fan and dandy. That's cool. But I need you to go sack a quarterback. And him already getting this injury stuff, it's been nagging him since he's had that contract. Oh, I've been dealing with a few injuries. Oh, I have this surgery. Oh, I've been doing this. It's time for you to make your money in the run game and in the sack game. It's time, Tank Lawrence.
Very good points indeed, Mike. You hit it right on the head about the injuries becoming nagging. He is getting up in age for a football player. You're getting up in that 30 range. Father Time catches up to some of these guys real quick. So, yeah, definitely probably something to monitor. Yeah, I like what you're saying here, Mike. Good counterpoints indeed. Very good stuff. Here we go. Michael Gelkin.
I can't lose in these shoes.
Michael Gelkin, this is a 3-day minicamp on paper, but some coaches choose to shorten to 2 days in favor of team bonding and simple player reward for work done in the spring. Wouldn't put that past Mike McCarthy. If Cowboys do any on-field Thursday, likely just review tempo winding down. Okay, so that's probably what they're going to do there. Probably more of walking through installation, this sorts of thing. You do see a lot of this around the league. You know what I mean? So very interesting there, Mike. What's your thoughts on this final note here from Michael Gelkin?
No, I think it's smart. But it's smart because you have the veterans, but then they have rookie school next week, Monday through Friday. And it just gives an extra day. Even though it's not minicamp no more or whatever, players are still going to be at Frisco. They're still going to be working out. They got like 4 different practice fields that they can go work on. And if you ever toured the Star, I did it hours before the draft. And players are in the weight room. Players are out on the field. They do it 24/7. They're professional athletes for a reason. 10,000 hours to be perfect, and you got to start somewhere to start that 10,000 hours, and they do it all the time. And so yes, mini camp's over after today, tomorrow, whatever. But the facility don't put a lock and chain on the doors; it's always open.
Yeah, it's always open to these guys. One other thing that we want to talk about, Mike, that I really want to talk about is Randy Gregory.
Yes,
everybody. Let's talk about Randy Gregory. I love this story, man. I really do, and I'll be the first to say that I was not on board when we drafted him back in 2015. But the story, the journey, everything that you've heard about him over the last couple of seasons. I've been a big fan of him, even going back to last year and the year before. So. You like to hear this stuff. And Randy Gregory on his contract year. I love it here. I love the owners. I love the staff. I love the players. When that time comes, we'll talk about it. From where I come from, I'm not thinking about a damn contract right before the season starts. I still got a lot to do. I love that. This is what you want to see from a lot of your players, right? So that quote from Randy Gregory, I think, just shows a lot of growth from the player. You know what I mean? You definitely see, where you see the maturation process and this sort of thing over the last couple of seasons. And it just feels like, that he's going to have a good season this year, a full off season with the team, OTA, full participation, mini camp, OTA. Mike, what's your thought here on Randy Gregory contract season?
He's on the right path. He's on the right path, Joe. And, of course, he loves the Cowboys. They're the only team that gave him a chance. They're the only team that still believed in him. He was still on his rookie contract up till last year. That's mind-blowing, right? This is his first minicamp OTA since his rookie year. Of course he's going to love the Star. And when we drafted him, I hated it too. But I always thought it was a weed problem. Then I got a little wiser, and I looked into mental health. And I started, looking into mental health. I got mental health issues running in my family as we speak, Joe. And it makes sense when you deal with a family member and you kind of see what's going on with Randy Gregory. I've never met the guy, never spoken to him, but on Twitter just a couple of times. It kind of ties in. And then you're like, man, I hope he gets right mentally. And he said it himself. He wanted chaos. He wanted chaos, Joe.
Yeah.
To fight those demons every day, to cause 20 problems just because you want chaos in your brain, that's mind-blowing to me. Now he's at peace. Now he is at ease. If you don't know much about mental health and you're judging somebody and you don't understand mental health, please get educated. It took me 3 years to get myself educated and learn about Randy Gregory. He's doing it right. He's doing it fantastic. I can't wait to crown him at the end of the year when he has 15 to 19 sacks. And I'm calling that right now.
Yeah. One of our subscribers said double-digit sacks, Tino Santiago. Do you think that he could have a shot at double-digit?
15 to 19 sacks. I'm calling it right now.
15 to 9. That would be awesome, man. I mean, man, if we can get like 10, I mean, you're already winning. I think he's gonna beat what he. I mean, he had 6 sacks in
10 games.
Yeah, right. So, shoot, I think double digits is a possibility. I really do, especially if you're talking about improving the middle of the defense to open up some double teams, which I think the Cowboys, you're gonna have a better Neville Gallimore year 2. You know what I mean? Brent Urban, I think some people might be sleeping on him. He's a big guy himself, run stuffing kind of guy, can take on 2 gaps as well. So I like where we're at defensive tackle right now. I think you can still get a little bit better, maybe add another person there. And then you do have Bohanna, but he still got to earn his spot. Late round pick. They do like his size. Let's see how they can fit him in here. If he can show out here in training camp, in the preseason, that'll be a good hefty behemoth up the middle, man. So yeah, double-digit sack. Will he out-sack DeMarcus Lawrence? What do you think about that, Mike?
It's very possible. It's very, because Tank Lawrence isn't getting older. I don't think Tank Lawrence will ever have a double-digit sack career season ever again. I honestly believe that. Body's wearing down. It's like a car wreck down there. Lawrence still has fresh tread, Joe. And he's in a contract year. He's very healthy. I honestly believe that Randy Gregory can lap DeMarcus Lawrence in sacks.
That would be a very interesting scenario, and that's one thing I talked about in one of my videos. Is I went over 4 players that you might want to consider signing before the end of the season. Randy Gregory was one of my top ones, and only because you've had him on the rookie deal for a long time because of all the suspensions, and they did extend him on a cheap deal. But man, if you want to get ahead of that double-digit sack season, you might want to do it during the bye week and say, hey, man, we don't want you going anywhere. We're locking you down right now before the end of the season, before you get 12 or 15 sacks. I mean, that's what we're hoping, right? So
they did it with the punter, Chris Jones. Locked him in at training camp. It's a big possibility that you can do that with Randy Gregory.
Yeah, definitely possible, guys. Guys, let us know what you guys think about the OTA news from last week. Talking about the minicamp news. What do you guys think about it? How are you guys feeling right now as we wind down and we head in towards training camp at the end of July? How are you guys feeling about the Cowboys right now? Do you feel like they've been getting overhyped again? Do you feel like we're kind of under the radar right now? What do you guys feel? What do you feel, Mike, about the team right now?
Thank you for bringing. Do we feel like we're getting the only people overhyping the Cowboys right now? It's not even the media. You turn on the only reason why the Cowboys were talked about and Michael Gallup had that long interview was because Jane Slater, who covers the Cowboys for NFL Network, was a co-host for that show filling in. Right? You look at it, no one's talking about the Cowboys. No, and I love it. The only people overhyping video clips and overhyping players who haven't seen in full pads is YouTubers. It's YouTubers. And, you can talk about veterans because you have film on that. If people are overhyping veterans, guys, don't buy into that. I'm right now, Joe, going into training camp.
Yeah.
Going into that, what I'm excited about is there's no distractions. Dak's paid. There's no Cabo. There's no off the field issues.
Thank God.
Right? There's none of that. So we're going into this break on ease. Ezekiel Elliott's grown up. We don't got to worry about him being in New Orleans throwing beads and pushing women or whatever, he grabbing a nipple or whatever he was doing. Right? We don't got to worry.
I'm gonna knock on some wood right now. I'm gonna knock on some wood.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me knock on some wood real quick.
We don't have to worry about that. This offseason, it's a new coach. He actually got to go hands-on with his players. We got a Super Bowl appearing coach, a Super Bowl winning head coach. We got a Super Bowl appearing special teams coordinator, right? And then we got Kellen Moore. That's about as bland. Kellen Moore's mashed potatoes with no salt, right? He needs to start adding some salt into his offense. But things are looking up, Joe. Things are really looking up. I'm not overhyping them like everybody else is going to do on this platform. That's why I haven't made any videos. There's really nothing to talk about. Now that you can spectate, you can project, you can do different things, right? But you just can't go off a tweet here and there and say, oh, my God, Boss Man Fat's going to be the next Jalen Ramsey, or he's going to be the next Cheeto Bay bust, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it goes either way. Yeah, I get what you're saying totally.
But, I'm just glad that this right now, coaches got hands-on with their players. There's players in the building. There were no holdouts. Dak's paid. Ezekiel Elliott's being smart. He's matured. We'll find out during this 5-week break if he's low-key faded, right? So we still got things to watch out for.
Yeah.
But I'm breathing with ease because right now this looks like the most easiest complex offseason to date. Even when Wade Phillips was a head coach. Under Jason Garrett, there was always something going on, some drama. But Mike McCarthy, I'm very confident going into this training camp without any issues.
Yeah, it's so true. You had the Camp Cupcake with Wade Phillips, and then you had the distractions with Garrett. So, yeah, you're right, man. So, I think there's going to be a season to hold on. Get your popcorn ready, like CeeDee Lamb says there with his bracelet. Get your popcorn ready. There's potential to be fireworks. You know what I mean? So I'm like you, Mike. I'm not really one to hype it up or hype up, the rookies and this sort of, or undrafted rookies at that. So, let's just see how everything plays out. But I think they're positioning themselves to be in the running. If these guys can stay healthy on the offensive line, I think that is such a big part of what the Cowboys are going to do this year. Can we stay healthy on the O-line?
That's it. It's funny you say that because I think it was Pro Football Focus or somebody put out a tweet and said, how do you think this offense is going to produce? And it had 5 players. It was Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Dak, Zeke, and somebody else. And I was like, wait a minute. There should be 5 offensive linemen because these 5 guys predict what this offense does. It all starts up front. That's on offense. That's on defense. And that offensive line, they got to hold up. Tyron Smith, though, I watched his press conference, and I'm not a big believer in hyping up press conferences, but he looked a little bit more humble. I think he really knows that he's healthy. I've seen that guy smile in one press conference. He's been in the league 11 years, and I've never seen him smile that much at a press conference.
I would love that, man. And
I really think he knows he's healthy.
Yeah, that surgery, hopefully will fix one issue supposed to be fixing too. Apparently, like the neck, that'll help with the back. If they're all in the same, I guess you could say. So we'll see there. I do love that though. So Mike, I think that'll be it for today's show. We'll be back. Like I said, we'll do every other week here for the Frisco Report. So not next week, but the following week. Unless we get some kind of crazy breaking news, we will come in there and discuss that. But, Mike, where can everybody find you if they haven't already?
Yeah, right now, Joe has it right there, _Cowboys Corner. I will be doing some speculation, some projection, some if, ands, and maybes right here on Cowboys Corner. I'm starting that this weekend, guys. I'm going to talk about Take Lawrence. I'm going to talk about CeeDee Lamb's projection, Amari Cooper's projection. How about that foot? right? Projections are coming. Some 53-man roster predictions. Those are coming too, Joe. Cowboys Corner on YouTube, _Cowboys Corner on Twitter, guys. If you follow me, best believe I'll follow you back.
Shout out to Voch Lombardi in the house. The Go to Goats film guy. Make sure you hit up my boy Voch Lombardi. I'm sure all of you are, though. Voch is one of the kings of film breakdown. Thanks for stopping by, Voch. Appreciate you, bro.
Hit it one time for the cardio.
Yes, sir. Guys, make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, and share on your way out, and we'll see you for the next one. Peace out, everybody.